Hi. Hola.
Hi, here's Mr. Dozy.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike Tiempo Legend 6 in the latest Floodlights pack colorway. Now included with the shoes inside the box is a string bag. The string bag is green in color with navy blue strings and the Tiempo branding there in the middle. And of course, along with the bag, you get the shoes themselves, which I have right here. Now in today's video, we are going to take a detailed look at the colorway itself. We're going to talk tech specs, performance, take a look at the weight of the shoe, as well as take a look at how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more, stick around, watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, there'll be a little pop-up on screen as well as a link down below that'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $210 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, pop up on screen, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. Starting off with the colorway, this of course is part of the Floodlights pack, and as you can see is a pretty interesting combination of colors. There's 3 colors on this shoe listed as follows: coastal blue, polarized blue, and rage green. So you have this really interesting, almost like dark navy blue for the upper and laces, which I actually think looks really good. You're also going to find that the ACC branding and Tiempo branding on the back is that same blue color. Really big fan of this. It does have kind of like a semi-shiny finish to it, which I don't mind either. And then you have your accent colors, which are the lighter blue in the Nike swoosh on both sides of the shoe. The tips of the studs are also that lighter blue, but more of a translucent variation. And then of course, a lime green, which they're calling rage green in this situation for the back heel area, the outline for both Nike swooshes, and then of course the sole plate, which again also has that translucent look to it. Overall, I will say that I think the colorway itself looks a lot better in person than it does in online photos. I just wish they would have gone for more simple accent colors with this darker blue color, because again, I really like it. I'm just not crazy about the combination of the dark blue, the light blue, and then the lime green, but that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. For those that regularly watch my channel, you know that the Legend 6 is my personal favorite shoe. I made a video on this a little while ago. That still is the case, even though there has been quite a few new releases from Nike as well as other brands. But for me, the simplicity of having a kangaroo leather upper, the feel and comfort that that offers, with the technological advancements that they've made with this particular shoe, being the internal support cage as well as the one-piece construction, to me just really blend a good combination of old school comfort and feel, and obviously the more modern kind of tight responsiveness that you expect from a brand new pair of high-end soccer shoes. So I just really like what this shoe has on offer as a whole. That's kind of my explanation as to why it's my personal favorite. It's simple, but at the same time, it doesn't lack technology and innovation. If you guys do want some more details on the overall performance, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen to my playtest video. You can go ahead and check that out. If you haven't seen it already, you get to see the shoes in action if that's something that you're interested in. But for the sake of this video, let's go over the basic tech specs that you should know if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself. So the majority of the upper is made from a very premium kangaroo leather material. The leather spans from the outside of the Nike swoosh forward, runs through the forefoot and midfoot area, toe box of course, and then cuts off at pretty much the same point on the medial side of the shoe. From there back, it's a synthetic material, and then the tongue area is also synthetic, although it's a synthetic with a memory foam that pretty much matches the thickness of the rest of the upper. So because of this one-piece design, you do have more of a seamless kind of transition between the leather and the synthetic in the tongue, where you don't really feel a difference in the touch on the ball. It's pretty consistent in that regard, which I think is really nice. Like I said, the quality of the leather is quite good. It's soft, not overly thick, not overly thin. It's going to provide that nice kind of cushion sensation on the ball that I think a lot of people expect. It's also flexible. It moves nicely with your foot. It will stretch and form to the shape of your foot as well as you break them in. For those that are wondering, that little stamp right there just lets you know that it is in fact natural leather. That's something that I believe pretty much any leather shoe has to have now, so they do have it here on the Legend 6. The upper is finished with ACC all conditions control, acting as your wet control element, but that's not really a big feature in my opinion. And of course, internally, you can see a little bit of texturing here on the outside. There is an internal support structure, so it's directly behind the leather, but underneath the liner on the inside. So you really don't feel it on your foot. It doesn't take away from the softness and flexibility of the leather. It doesn't restrict the leather from stretching over time either. But what it does do when you pull the laces tight is it really does a good job of reinforcing the leather in such a way where it doesn't feel sloppy. It has a responsiveness. It wraps your foot snug and it maintains that snug feel. A lot of leather shoes at first fit really good and they do have a responsive sensation to a certain extent, but over time they overstretch. This will kind of prevent the overstretching, and it does, like I said, add a lot of support in general to the leather upper without taking away from the natural flexibility and softness of leather. So again, you're getting that traditional feel, but at the same time, there's innovation in that it doesn't feel sloppy on your foot. And it's really the only leather shoe on the market like it. So if that's something that sounds really good to you, again, the Legend 6 should be on your list. One piece design, like I mentioned, it's not truly one piece and the tongue isn't leather. It's kind of just fused at the edges here. But it does, like I said, is made out of kind of a memory foam type material that is the same thickness as the rest of the upper. So it does feel quite leather-like on your foot. It does use a dual lacing system because the tongue is fixed basically for the bottom 4 lacing positions, and then at the top 2, the tongue becomes fully independent. So for a one-piece upper, it's actually not too bad as far as putting them on and taking them off, which is a good thing. You do have an internal heel counter. Obviously, this is a low cut, the only top-end model, or the only top-end model of the Tiempo line, which means that there isn't a mid-cut variation. What I'm getting at is every other line obviously has 2 top-end models, one mid-cut, one low-cut. The Tiempo line only has one high-end model and one is low-cut. That's perhaps a little bit more clear. And I don't mind that at all. I know some people perhaps would like a mid-cut Tiempo maybe, but for me, I just like how this feels very comfortable, very familiar, which is, I guess, the case with most low-cut shoes. Internally, you do have a synthetic leather liner with some very small kind of texturing at the back of the heel that's not particularly noticeable when you're wearing the shoes. The insole, fully removable. It features a nice kind of soft material on top. It's made from a yellow layer of a decent thickness of foam, and then you do have the pour-on foam inserts in the heel as well as in the forefoot toe box area. So as far as insoles go, you actually get a pretty decent amount of underfoot cushioning. And then moving on to the sole plate, it's a pretty standard TPU plastic material that does have some really good flexibility to it. Stiffener bar through the middle. They do put this little split line in the middle of the forefoot that's supposed to allow for more flexibility. As you can see, it's very, very minimal as far as being a split, but again, flexibility is very good. There's really no stiffness to the shoe out of the box, which just makes for a natural sensation when you're running in them. Again, more of a personal preference thing as opposed to something that is good or bad. And then of course you do have the firm ground stud pattern, which I personally really like. You get your bladed studs in the heel, conical studs in the forefoot, and then some bladed support studs running through the middle. It's a traction pattern that does work very well on firm natural grass. It looks pretty straightforward, fairly simple, but because of the longer conical studs that do have a fairly narrow profile, they still dig in and bite pretty aggressively. So you're getting a good amount of traction while still kind of having that more traditional feel where the studs are free to kind of twist and pivot when planted in the ground. And again, it's a stud pattern that most people use and really don't have any issues with. So for me, I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of this shoe in general. It is my personal favorite of every top-end model at the moment. And again, if you're looking for a more simple leather shoe that also doesn't lack modern innovation, the Legend 6 is definitely one of the best options out there at the moment. In terms of weight, the Legend 6 is, as expected, not the lightest shoe out there. But again, I think most people interested in this shoe in the first place probably aren't too concerned about having the lightest possible shoes on their feet. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind that this is a brand new pair in a size 9.5 US. Going to throw them on the scale and you can see that they weigh in at 8.9 ounces, the equivalent of 252 grams. So still in the 8 ounce range, just under 9 ounces if you want to be, I guess, a little bit more precise. And again, they don't feel heavy, they don't feel super light either. It's kind of a more traditionally styled shoe with a soft leather upper. that doesn't weigh as much as something like a Copa or something, I guess, a little bit more old school. So again, you are getting that little bit of modern innovation in that you still get the old school feel, but it's not as heavy as most old school shoes. And again, at 8.9 ounces, I don't really have any issues with the weight. They don't feel weightless on your feet, but that's not necessarily the sensation that I'm looking for in a pair of soccer shoes of this style. All right, so here is a look at the Legend 6s on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of wide reflective green SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. Find a direct link to that website down below, and there'll also be a little pop-up on screen. So if you are interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check it out. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel out of the box, they're pretty comfortable. The leather is very soft and flexible on your foot as expected. And of course, like any leather shoe, it'll soften up and kind of stretch a little bit as you wear them in. So the more you wear them, the more comfortable they should get. It's a standard low cut, so the fit in the heel area is pretty normal. Heel slippage is not an issue. And again, it's a comfortable shoe in general. I will say that in comparison to a lot of more traditionally styled shoes, because of the general shape as well as the one-piece construction, you do get a little bit more of a tighter, slightly locked in sensation, where most other leather shoes with more traditional styling will feel perhaps not quite as snug on your foot, so that's something worth noting, but I don't necessarily consider that to be a bad thing. As far as width is concerned, they've got some decent width to them. Like I said, it does have a tighter fit out of the box, but they will be suitable for most people. If you have really wide feet, maybe not the best option, but again, they will fit most people pretty comfortably. And as far as sizing is concerned, they run a half size small. So instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I bumped it up to a 9.5, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Nike Tiempo Legend 6 in the new Floodlights pack colorway. If you guys are interested in a pair for yourself, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the first link down below, or you can click the little eye in the corner of the screen. And of course, on that page, you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $210 retail price. If you have any questions regarding the Legend 6, leave them down below in the comments, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support this video with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.